Welcome to the City Council Workshop for Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. Citizens may address the council regarding any item of city business that is not on tonight's agenda with a 3-minute speaking limit. Do we have anybody? Seeing none, no general items, we move to executive review. We have the EMS. With that, I will turn that over to CEO Markey Guard.
Good evening, City Council, Mr. Mayor.
I'm sorry, before we started, I meant to say this. Myself and the council and city staff would like to send our condolences to Council President Sparks, Council Member Banks, and Council, what are you? Administrator? Brittany, for the loss of loved ones. It's a truly rough week, and our hearts and prayers are with you. So sorry about that, Kurt. Go ahead.
I concur. The EMS resolution, it's awarding a bid. So the city of Laurel went out for the council authorized city staff to seek bids for a new ambulance. We did that. We publicly advertised. We held the bid opening. We had one bid. It was from AppGuard Ambulance. The price was $250,000. It's in your packet. That's the one that the ambulance chief had brought to emergency services, and I talked to emergency services and also to the city council that she would like to purchase. The cost difference between a new ambulance, if you were to go out to buy one, is like $350,000, $329,000 to $350,000 with the cot. This one is the $250,000. So we sought the bids. We are asking the city council to award the bid as staff for that next Monday night. One of the questions is how we're going to pay for it. I think we're going to get into that. I don't want to jump if you got questions, but what we're looking at is they're having fundraisers. We're trying to raise funds. The fire chief is here tonight. He's part of the resolution is to declare the fire truck that was replaced with that new fire truck, trying to declare that surplus and then try to get marketed that and then sell that. The general fund essentially takes over for the purchase of it. It's a general fund capital improvement CIP purchase. It was in the CIP for 2026. We had put in the budget $40,000 for feeding, or part of that was that to feed the CIP for the ambulance. Part of the budget process. We also then had $25,000 in the line item for the purchase of an ambulance that she was going to try to, Lindy was going to try to use for donations or sorry, a grant match. So that was also in her budget. So just alone in the budget, there was like $65,000. Like I said, the fire chief has come forward and he would like to use the surplus of that truck money to go towards the cost of the ambulance. We also had the spaghetti fundraiser that a local group put together and held last Saturday night. So we've got that money coming in. We've got a promise from Jersey Mike's Sandwich Shop that's opening up November 19th. They are pledging to send out coupons to help pay for that. But in the end, all that revenue coming in, whether donations or selling equipment, is going to go into the general fund revenue. And it'll be up to the council to do a budget amendment. If you pass this resolution next Monday night, we will do a budget amendment. And then we will transfer the funds from the general fund and the donations that are coming in to help purchase that. But one of the things that we've identified after the budget was passed is we had the local option sales tax that comes from vehicle registration. That brings in about 180 to 190,000 estimated over the last couple of years. So we'd like that was being allocated in the general fund revenue. We're going to reallocate that 180 in revenue. And that was going to the split out. I think we talked about it. It went to the general fund, permissive health mill levy. So in the budget, we were allocating it for that when it actually is a local option sales tax. So it's at the option of the city to use that revenue coming in to do what you want with it. It can go in any department in any fund. So in this case, we'd like to reallocate what was in the budget, putting that 180,000 towards the purchase. So with that, we think we're pretty close with donations coming in, and we've got some pledges that still are going to come in. Like I said, Jersey Mike's is going to do a fundraiser, and then we have another business owner that's going to be hopefully living up to a pledge to bring in some more money. But essentially, all that'll come into the general fund as revenue, and then we'll do a budget amendment, moving all the money from the donations and that local option sales tax. We'll move it into a fund specifically for the purchase of the ambulance. So that'll all come later if you accept the bid. City Council, you can reject the bid. City staff is asking you not to, but we think we've got it worked out. As of today, we have $1.3 million sitting in the general fund reserve. So there's money to purchase it. We got tax collections coming in November. I think you just got your tax bills. That will come in, we think, around the first week of December. And usually that's our largest collections because a lot of people pay the first half and the second half. And so we get a big boom or big tax allotment coming in December. And then that'll add on to the 1.3 million, and we already have in there. So theoretically, we are sitting very well. And that was because of the things that we did with the purchase of the loan on the fire truck. We were able to save enough money in the general fund, take out the larger loan, and that allowed us to seek out the ambulance that the ambulance department needs. So hopefully that answers most of your questions on how we're going to fund it, but you will have to do, as City Council, you will have to do a budget amendment, moving the money from revenue into that CIP for Lindy. So.
Councilmember Banks.
Thank you. No worries. So if we pass this bid, if we award it next Monday, do we pay them then immediately for it, or do we pay them once the ambulance arrives? And
we would pay it at delivery. Usually it's at delivery or what the arrangements are with it. But it was, I guess it was in Billings last week for
so it shouldn't
EMS.
take long to get it delivered.
I'm not even sure they removed it. I think it might still be in Billings.
I think they have a pretty good idea. Lenny's really like, just keep it here for a couple weeks.
Yeah, so I think if you award it next Tuesday, it would be delivered pretty quick and we'd have to come up with the money. But I did check with Kelly today. There's money in the reserve. We're only 3 weeks away from tax collections coming in. So your tax bill, people start paying it. Actually, they start paying it probably as soon as they were getting it. So there's people out there that pay it, but there's a lot of people that wait till the end of the month, November, and then the county receives that money and turns it back over to the city, usually the first week in December. So
I will say that Chief Gerchek and her staff was very good about finding a stripped down one, because they know that they have a ambulance that they can transfer the cot and everything over to. So they were able to take that lower priced one instead of having to pay the higher price. It will cost $1,000 or $2,000 to switch over everything, but they'll have a new ambulance and ready to go. So, Councilmember Mize.
Thank you. Maybe someone from Emergency Services knows this in detail. So is it correct am I correct in understanding that the ambulance that we need to replace, the vehicle itself has gone bad, but all the gear is good? And so that's how we're going to make this work, kind of combining those two things?
it's my understanding what the fire chief, or sorry, the ambulance chief has said is that she's going to try to transfer it all. In a perfect world, she said she would love all new stuff, all new the cots, I think are $50,000 to $70,000, 45,000. So they're not cheap. Like I said, I think there's ongoing. I was helping somebody on Saturday. They couldn't go to the spaghetti feed, so I hit them up for $100. And there's a lot of people. My parents want to donate. I want to donate. We're just so we're talking that over with Kelly. We're trying to get all the donations coming in. So hopefully next week we can start bringing some of those collections in, and we can help offset the costs. But and like I said, you have another resolution here tonight that the surplus truck, and I'm not sure how long it'll take. If you agree to surplus it out, I'm sure the fire chief is going to try to immediately try to market that and try to get, what his hope is at least another 25,000. So if you want to speak to that, JW.
Mayor and council, good evening. It's hard to say how long it'll take to sell it. But number one is we gotta get, I mean, you guys gotta approve us to do it because personally, I think we're doing a disservice to the city if we sell it in the city auction. We're not gonna get what we can get out of that truck if we put it in a state auction or their government surplus auction to where it would go out to all 50 states, right? I don't know. It's the truck for a small rural town, somebody will pick it up. Like a ranch, excuse me, like a big guest ranch or something that needs a fire truck. Perfect thing for something like that. So I would think anywhere from 15 to 25. That might be a little bit, excuse me, that might be a little bit high, but I think we could get that out of it. And then also we have the rescue trailer that Kurt will be, we got it appraised and Kurt will be talking about that. And that's 11,000 that I agreed to roll into the ambulance. So I would think that would help to pay for some of the equipment if they need new equipment.
Councilmember Closey?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the ambulance that's being replaced, is that going to be declared excess then and be sold as well? And the funds used to help pay for the new one?
I'm sure it will, yes. From what I was, to answer Councilmember Mize's question, I was talking to Lindy. They're taking the best cot out of one of the older ambulances, putting it in the new one, then taking the cot out of the ambulance that isn't really running and putting that back in. So they will have two ambulances, but they're gonna put all the best stuff in the new one and then refab that second best with the worst ones cot and stuff. So yes, they're not gonna spend any extra money other than the labor that it does cost to have all that stuff professionally hooked up. So, but yes, I would imagine she's not gonna need it. We might just do what the fire chief is doing too and just instead of selling it for $300-400, put it out there to where, cause it's old and they still use it occasionally. It's just, they can't find parts and stuff for it. So maybe if you got to a bigger area where they had more access to parts, they might be able to do it, so. Do we have any other questions? Okay. Let's move to the planning resolution, a resolution of the city council of the city of Laurel, Montana, awarding the bid and authorizing the mayor to execute all contract and related documents for the Bernhardt Ditch Improvement Project. We have Forrest Anderson.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Bernhardt Ditch Improvement Project. We did a bid opening last Thursday. We had 6 qualified bidders. The bid range was $587,410 to $180,791. Our lowest qualified bidder was Earth Movers Excavation, and they were the low bidder at $587,410. The engineer, Triple Tree, Doug Whitney, and myself, we have checked references. We find that the references are all favorable, they're capable, they're competent, and able to do the job. The recommendation is to issue the notice of award, authorize the mayor to execute all contract-related documents, including the notice to proceed. The notice of award, we've passed that. We're still working through some of the contract documents, and the notice to proceed. There were a few minor glitches in those. We will get you the drafts. I'm hoping to get them cleaned up by Thursday and we can send everything down. I recognize the city attorney needs to look at the contract and all of those documents before the mayor would sign them. And I would also recommend that the mayor not sign until the contractor has signed the contract and returns it to the city along with their insurance and their bond documents. But it looks good. It's our first project since I took over as the coordinator for the TIF district. Everything is in order. We're ready to go. And our second project is probably going to be coming at you late December, early January, if we can get MDT off dead center on the downtown improvement projects. Any questions for me? Cool. Good evening, Mayor and Council.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Laurel, Montana, appointing a special prosecutor. You have been working with the judge on this, haven't you?
This is just a simple resolution. The city prosecutor informed me a few months ago that there's a defendant in a case that's going in front for prosecution. And as prosecutor, he has believed he has an ethic violation. If he were to try to prosecute somebody, he has knowledge of them as a victim in a case. So he's asking the city council to assign a special prosecutor. I've been working with a civil attorney on this, and with her unavailability this week and coming back from missing, she was recommending that they hire the city special prosecutor as well. So we got everything taken care of. We helped get all the Nick, city prosecutor Nick, and myself and the civil attorney, we all worked to get this resolution put out for you tonight. So that's all it is. In the cases of conflict, we need to have the person, the defendant, make sure that they are not being biased in any way legally. So we're asking the council to approve a special prosecutor for this case.
Questions? Okay, now we move on to a resolution of the City Council declaring certain City of Laurel property as surplus, available for sale or trade to the public or other governmental entities or vendors. Again, this is, the chief spoke on it, it is the fire truck and a trailer. Well,
Will be.
it will be,
In the
they
future.
will be separate though. There will be a resolution for the trailer, but this right now gives us permission to sell both of them. Any questions? Chief, you good? Okay, any council issues? Other items? Councilmember Closey.
Next Tuesday is Veterans Day, so it's my understanding that we're gonna be meeting Monday, the 10th, instead of on Tuesday next week.
Yes, indeed. I have that on
So-
Brittany cheat sheet.
You know, we have our budget and finance at regular time, but it'll be on Monday instead of Tuesday next week.
Good call. Council Vice President Wilkie.
Thank you. There will be a park board tree meeting on Thursday evening at 5:30 in this chamber.
Anybody else? Attendance at the upcoming meeting? Good. Any announcements? We are dismissed.